it's bad for the guards too.
Yes.
But another thing I don't do either is eat or drink in custody. You know, so they knew they had something on their hands anyway, I suppose. Because when the solicitor came down and said to me like, "What are you going to do?" Well, he says the first thing he advised me, don't make a statement. But sure, I said I'd never make a statement.
You've nothing to gain by making a statement.
And I said, that's number one. Number two, I said, I don't eat in custody. I said, I don't drink in custody. So he threw his arms up and said, oh, I've nothing to worry about. So, but I'm on 24-hour call, he says. And there's my card. You can ring me any time, day or night. This is on standby to handle. You know.
Your case.
So I was in there from about, I was arrested there and I was brought. They asked me, they rang the solicitor and they said to the solicitor that they didn't want to, like all the cavalry coming up and raiding the house and all this, you know, but would I go in and be interviewed in the station rather than a load of sort of
big holiday
cabs coming up and so I said, yeah, okay, what do you think? So you might as well go in, have the interview and see how it goes from there. But then what they did was, when I went in, they issued me with a warrant, you see, for first of all they read the Riot Act to me about the offences under the State Act, you know, Section 30, that I did on the 6th, 7th and 8th of March. I handled explosives. Well, don't forget that it was 34 years after, you see. So you were talking about somebody in 1950 being arrested for being in the GPO and handling a rifle.
Exactly, yes.
So I couldn't see that, like, you know. So I said, well, like, that's 34 years ago. So he said, yeah, but you blew it up. So it went on from there and I was questioned, and then they arrested me and brought me up here, and then they went to the house. Ah, but they were nice. They were nice enough to me now. And they were nice lads. You know, they didn't start to pull everything asunder or anything like that. Like, you know, they just asked me could I use the computer, and I let them into the computer. Sure, I had half the stuff on the computer anyway, so we read it off and we come down, and about 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30 that night, the amazing thing about it is that the Army Guard in the station, that's the uniform. The other one was a detective inspector, another was a special detective unit from the special detective unit. He was an inspector. Two nice fellas, and they requested me all day. But then they put me back in the cell, you know. But a young uniform guard would come up and say to me, "Are you the man that blew the pillar?" So I said, okay. Well, that's what I'm in here for, you know, that's what they have me in for. He said, would you mind if I went down and brought me pal up? He wants to meet you, you know. So they were running up and down all the time, and then he came up to me around 5:30 and said to me, listen, don't tell them I told you, but there's cameras all outside waiting for you to be released, you know. The RTE is out there and TV3 is out there in the store sleeping waiting for you. But I wasn't released till about 10 o'clock that night. A son of mine came in and he said that the guards were only doing their job and that, like, you know, and I'd have to go along. I said, oh yeah, that's great. Yes, you know, he says, but I said, so the guys go in there and have a chat, and we went in and had a chat, and he says, did you make any statement? That was I said, I don't make a statement, you know. And he said, have you eaten? And I said, no. Have you drank anything? I said, no. I won't eat or drink you while in custody. So he says to me, okay. So he went out, told one of the inspectors to call an ambulance, or a doctor, one or the other.
Yes.
He says, if he hasn't eaten or drank all day, he says, you're going to have a problem on your hands, you know. So they didn't want that at all, so he left. He's about a half a mile gone out, half a mile down the road when they rang and told him to come back and collect me, so that was it. They released me then that night about 10 o'clock, I think.
Did you ever have any regrets?
Of blowing it?
Yes.
Ah, not at all, no, sure. You know...
I know they had the so-called spear or spire
the spire, yeah.
in O'Connell Street now, where
well, they've many
Nelson
names
once
on
stood.
that thing anyway, yeah.
Some people get the needle, isn't it?
Oh, they've everything on it, yeah. What do I think of it? Well, I don't think it suits Dublin. You know, a lump of steel in the middle of all that lovely Georgian buildings is terrible.
Do you think it'd be here to stay?
I don't think so, mind you. I'm not going to remove it. At my age now, it would be out for remove. But if we had a good hacksaw now, it wouldn't be long coming down, like, you know. Can I have a smoke now?
Of course you can. Yeah, stop there. Just stop there.
Nelson, he looked down on us from high above. He frowned on us. For years he hung around with us in hail and rain and snow, till Liam Sutcliffe stood at Cleary's clock and put Nelson's head upon the block and reduced him to a lump of rock, and the pillar was no more. From his perch up in the heavens he fell down.